Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos. And Manchester United have just drawn with Liverpool at Old Trafford 0-0 as I currently said in the process, as I currently said. So now as it does currently stand with Arsenal winning 2-0 against Southampton today, Arsenal do go back into the top four by a current point, as I currently said. But we know some news came up before the current game, because initially, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did currently say, he's lost faith in Sanchez, he's lost trustworthy in Alexis Sanchez, so he did basically want to avoid playing Alexis Sanchez, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So what he basically said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer basically said he wanted to rush Lingard and Anthony Martial, currently back from injury, so they could feature him in the game today as well. But obviously Martial didn't make the trip, as that had currently confirmed. So Solskjaer only made he played a similar lineup, to as he did do against Chelsea in the cup, and he only made currently two changes, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. So, but news came up, before kick-off as well, that currently Nemanja Matic, who's obviously, been a regular starter for Manchester United, as I currently said, he's since, Solskjaer's coming, he's flourished fantastically well in that midfield, he's looked instrumental in that midfield as Nemanja Matic. But news came through that he didn't make it with the rest of the squad reportedly, because it did confirm that currently Nemanja Matic has suffered an injury in training, reportedly. He suffered an injury in training, and reports did mention that Nemanja Matic could be out for up to a month with injury. I think there's going to be more scans next week. I don't think it has been detected of what kind of injury, Nemanja Matic has currently suffered, but it has confirmed he could be out for up to a month, so he could be missing key games, Nemanja Matic. So we saw Scott McTominay, full Matic's spot today, because Matic has looked good in that midfield, alongside Herrera and Paul Pogba and that. So we do know he's only out and all, defensive midfielders in Nemanja Matic. So we do know he's going to be a big miss, as I said. So he's set to miss Palace, probably set to miss Southampton, probably set to miss Paris Saint-Germain as well, which is very, very bad news also, because Pogba is suspended for Paris Saint-Germain. So this does currently mean now, there could be other alterations coming in the midfield now, that currently Matic is injured. As reports do say, we could be bringing the likes of Andres Pereira. Andres Pereira could be given more of a chance now, and Scott McTominay could be given more of a chance now. Maybe Fred could be in contention, to be given a chance now, because obviously, Nemanja Matic is currently injured, as I currently said. But yeah, so going into the game, it was a 0-0 draw today against Liverpool. Wasn't the best of performance, but as we've currently seen in recent weeks under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as I did confirm, Solskjaer did currently make two changes in the game. He went with De Gea in net, obviously went with Young at right back, Smalling starting his third start under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Chris Smalling's, Lindelof alongside him, Luke Shaw at left back, who I thought really had a good game today, I thought he kept Salah very, very quiet indeed. Obviously went with the midfield trio of Herrera, Scott McTominay and Pogba, because obviously, Matic wasn't in contention. Obviously Juan Mata was playing in that free role again, and Romelu Lukaku and Marcus Rashford were currently on top. But quite honest with you, in the game, Liverpool, did dominate the game, especially in the first half, but, I think from an attacking sense, Liverpool very, very poor indeed, to be quite honest with you, because I think they did look composed on the ball, and, they didn't even really create a clear-cut chance, Liverpool, I think, they looked more of a threat, from set pieces. I do think, the crossing was very, very poor, Liverpool's as well, but I think, from my perspective as a Manchester United fan, I thought defensively, we played very, very well. I thought Luke Shaw played well defensively as well, coming up against, Mohamed Salah, as I said, and he's got a bad record against Manchester United as Mohamed Salah. I thought Paul Pogba, as well, played very, very well defensively today for us as well. But I thought in the first half, it was pretty poor performance from Manchester United, to be quite honest with you, there was a lot of misplaced passes, a lot of unforced errors, and I thought, we was giving the ball away far too much, and Liverpool, did, look very, very dangerous on the counter-attack, but they didn't really create many clear-cut chances, did Liverpool. So from their perspective, they will be very, very disappointed about that indeed. They will be very, very disappointed about that indeed as well. But in the first half, there was a lot of injuries, that happened in the first half of the game, as I said. So more injury rumours, from a Manchester United point of view. Of course, Herrera suffering an injury as well, which was bad news. So Herrera had to come off, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was made to make three substitutions in the first half, because Herrera came off injured, and Andres Pereira came on for Herrera, and then Juan Mata currently got injured as well. So I do think Lingard Lingard had come on for Juan Mata. Initially, we knew Lingard was injured anyway, so we did know that Lingard currently wasn't fit. So we did see Mata get injured, we did see Ander Herrera get injured, and then and then Lingard had to come back off the pitch again because he wasn't fully fit. So then he had to bring basically Sanchez into contention. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even though he didn't want to play Alexis Sanchez, he did say because he's lost faith in Alexis Sanchez, and he didn't say he didn't trust him to play against Liverpool, but he had to basically bring Sanchez on probably because there wasn't any other options. And as they currently say, Liverpool also suffered an injury as well. Firmino had to come off in the first half as well, and also to Marcus Rashford was limping in the game in the first half as well. So basically, we have got a lot of injury problems, and that I think changed the whole game. When them players came off injuries, as I said, there wasn't a lot of intensity, there wasn't a lot of tempo to the game. Even though Liverpool did dominate the game in the first half, they had a lot of possessions, they were getting in decent positions, but couldn't really create any clear cut chances. So there wasn't composed enough in the final third of the pitch with Liverpool, and you could see Jurgen Klopp's frustration on the touchline. I think the best chance we had in the first half is when actually Lingard came on for Juan Mata. Lingard had currently tried rounding the goalkeeper. Lukaku played a lovely threaded pass through, but Lingard had a fantastic opportunities. I think that was one of the best chances we currently had in the game as well. Liverpool had quite a few chances, mainly coming from set pieces. Mainly where they did look a threat from set pieces. As I said, so there really wasn't a lot of chances in the game, to be quite honest with you. In the second half, to be honest with you, it did liven up a bit. I think the tempo of the game changed, to be quite honest with you. I think Manchester United, to be fair, improved in the second half, to be quite honest. I thought we were keeping the ball a bit better. We were getting playing as a unit. We were getting bodies in decent positions, as I said. I think, basically we got caught offside. We got caught offside 3 times from set pieces as well in the second half as well. But in my opinion, I think we had there was a goal that was scored. I think he put it into his own net, but of course it was currently ruled out as I currently said. But all in all, Liverpool, was very very composed on the ball. I think basically our game plan was different today because I think we went with a counter attacking game plan in that game today as I currently said. So it wasn't the best of performances that we have been seeing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We didn't really see that fluidity into attack. I thought we gave the ball away too much. I thought we lost the ball far too easily as well. I thought Liverpool's players, I thought Fabinho played well in that Liverpool team, to be quite honest with you. I thought he was one of Liverpool's best players on that pitch today, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Obviously Liverpool, obviously brought Daniel Sturridge on for obviously was a different style of play, obviously, to Firmino. He came on in the game as well. Shaqiri came on in the game as well. Obviously Liverpool, tried going for the win. Of course, as I said. But Liverpool, probably from their perspective, would be happy with the point. They would prefer the 3 points, obviously, because obviously Liverpool do go back top now by a current point. They do go back top now the Liverpool by a point. Of course, Manchester City play Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final. Manchester City play Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final very, very soon. But I thought in the game, Liverpool in an attacking sense were very, very poor. I think the final third definitely, let them down. They did keep the ball well. They did have a lot of possession in the game. Did Liverpool, in the first half, they did dominate the game, but again, they didn't really create many clear-cut chances. But I think this point should be enough, to still give, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the job without a shadow of a doubt. But as I did say, when them players came off, when Ander Herrera came off in the game, when Juan Mata came off in the game as well, I think that killed the intensity of the game, and I think, it killed the momentum. It killed Manchester United's momentum, as we are more currently know, because we know Ander Herrera has been very, very good this season. He's been pulling the strings off, very, very well in the midfield this season. He's showing that determination. He can gallop forward more than Ander Herrera, so we knew he was going to be. We know that's a big miss for us as well. But he did come off did Ander Herrera. We was lucky that Rashford, currently stayed on the pitch, because a lot of people obviously thought that Rashford obviously was going to come off as well, because he was limping Marcus Rashford. This is why he wasn't playing to his potential best, Marcus Rashford, because obviously he suffered some kind of injury. As I currently said, but he was limping on the game was Marcus Rashford, but it has officially confirmed Mata suffered an injury, so he had to come off. Obviously, he was playing in that number 10, so Lingard had obviously been full in that number 10, which he can play in that number 10, but mainly looks better on the right hand side. There's Jesse Lingard, but yeah, he wasn't on the pitch on Jesse Lingard, because initially he wasn't fully fit anyway, because he already had an hamstring injury. But Solskjaer did say before the game he hopes that Martial and Lingard can play in the game. Obviously, it confirmed Martial was totally out. He wasn't with the Man United squad. As I currently said, initially Solskjaer did say Martial and Lingard, could be out for 2 to 3 weeks. I said, but I'm very, very proud, of Manchester United. I thought we put a good defensive display out. I thought Luke Shaw, had a really, really good game today in that left back position, and I think his performances are really, really improved. And I think he's growing, developing, and flourishing, fantastically well. Is Luke Shaw, and I think he did well coming up against, Mohamed Salah. And Mohamed Salah hasn't been to his potential best, of recent. I know he's still one of the best players in the Premier League, but he's got a really, really bad record, against Manchester United, of course. I think this is the first 0-0 draw at Old Trafford with Liverpool. If I am right, to be quite honest with you, I know over the recent years there's been a couple of 0-0 draws at Anfield, as I currently said. But you know what, nobody would have thought a 0-0 draw, because I even said that in my preview, because we've got a lot of quality in our team. Liverpool have got a lot of quality in their team as well. And obviously, Jurgen Klopp, probably will be disappointed, obviously because Liverpool kept the possession well. They looked very, very composed on the ball. They did look good out on them wide positions as well. But I thought defensively, we played very, very well and basically, stopped them, as I currently said. And basically, we could have nicked it right at the end. We had a great, great chance, near the end as well. I can't remember who it was, but definitely the best game of the chance, was definitely Jesse Lingard. Lovely pass, from Romelu Lukaku. I don't think Lukaku had too much of a bad game today, to be quite honest with you. Did chase the channels well a couple of times in the game as well. But yeah, it's not too disappointing. At least we didn't lose the game. We still remain unbeaten under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the Premier League, as I said. So now that's basically 11 out of 14 in all competitions, as well can know. So that's 11 out of 14 in all competitions. Drawn 2, lost 1 in the process. We have still scored 30 goals. Away from home, we've been doing very, very well. We've won 7 away from home in all competitions. But as a lot of people were saying, if Manchester United, can win this game today, Solskjaer will be guaranteed to get the job as Manchester United manager. But I still think, probably a point is good enough, to secure him to get the job on a full-time basis. Because I still think Solskjaer definitely knows what he's doing. I still think he's the right man for Manchester United. But there again, even before the game, obviously we had injuries to Lingard. Martial's obviously was out. Matic was injured as well. So we have got a lot of injury problems, and that topped it off even more. When Mata came off in the game with injury, when Herrera came off in the game with injury as well. So we had to bring some fringe players on, and obviously we had to start Scott McTominay, but obviously in the game because Matic couldn't play because he's injured, and obviously then Andres Pereira who came on, for Ander Herrera, was obviously another fringe player as well. Hasn't really played that much this season, Andres Pereira, to be quite honest with you. So I do expect now, it depends on how severe Ander Herrera's injury is and how severe Juan Mata's injury is, depending if they can play against Crystal Palace. I'm sure more things will update, but we know Nemanja Matic isn't going to be in contention, to play against Crystal Palace. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday night? I think it's on Wednesday night, so he'll have to make a few alterations with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As I said, I'm surprised he didn't start Bay today. I thought he would have started Bay, but he stuck with Chris Smalling alongside Lindelof, as I said. Chris Smalling's performances, under Solskjaer, when he has been given the chance, I think this is his third start now under Solskjaer. I think his performances have been very, very impressive, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, Chris Smalling. But I thought Luke Shaw had a really, really good game today, to be quite honest with you. But Liverpool's crossing was poor. In an attacking sense, they were very, very poor, Liverpool, and they were just lacking in that final third, and they couldn't really get that killer pass through, to break us down. So I thought it was a very, very good defensive performance, for Manchester United, indeed as well. But especially in the second half, I think the game, the tempo of the game, risen up a bit. I thought we was getting forward more. We looked a bit dangerous on the counter attack as well. And I think that's the game plan we had today. To basically hit Liverpool on the counter attack. Haven't watched Solskjaer's post match interview. And to be quite honest with you, probably won't be happy. Obviously, we'll be a bit frustrated. With the injuries we suffered in the game. From Liverpool's perspective, they'll be a bit annoyed as well. Losing Firmino as well, who's been a very, very good player for Liverpool this season. But to be quite fair, Liverpool have scored goals this season. Defensively, they've done really, really well this season in the league as well. They've only conceded 15 goals in the league so far this season. But obviously, from Jurgen Klopp's perspective, and Liverpool obviously going for the league this season, because obviously overall, I think I said 28 years. I thought it was 28. It's 29 years, should I say? The last time Liverpool won the league, as I currently said. So they haven't won it, since 1990, as I currently said. They haven't even won a major honour, since 2006 of Liverpool. So this is the 13th year now. This is the 13th year now Liverpool have gone without winning a major honour, as I currently said. But obviously, it's definitely between them and Manchester City. Obviously, from my point of view as a Man United fan, I hate City and Liverpool, but if I had to choose, I'd rather Manchester City, to be quite honest with you, because obviously, I hate Liverpool more than Manchester City, of course, as I said. But, in terms, I think probably City could, basically, still win the league. Manchester City, of course, have got the experience. They've already won 3 titles in Manchester City. Of course, you've relation to Jurgen Klopp, he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, so he doesn't have that winning philosophy or that pedigree. He did win a couple of titles at Borussia Dortmund, as I do keep saying, but he's been at Liverpool now quite a few years, and he hasn't won out with Liverpool, even though they've invested money in the past couple of seasons. Liverpool, as I currently said, they have invested money. They addressed the defensive deficiencies with the signing of Virgil van Dijk. They've got a good goalkeeper in Alisson as well. They've got a good attacking trio, Salah, Firmino, Mane, and Liverpool are crumbling. To be quite honest with you, they didn't beat Bayern Munich midweek. They were poor against them. They weren't brilliant today because they were lacking in that attacking third of the pitch, even though they did have the majority of the possession today, Liverpool. And I think, they looked more of a threat, from set pieces, to be quite honest with you, did Liverpool. I thought, they were getting through the channels quite easily as well in the first half with Liverpool, to be quite honest with you. But I thought defensively, I thought Manchester United, put a good defensive performance out. We didn't really show out in an attacking intent. We didn't really show out in an attacking intent. We didn't really see that fluidity into attack or that free-flowing attacking football, mainly that we have been seeing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as I did say, that it killed the momentum killed us, when we saw Herrera coming off the pitch, when we saw Mata coming off the pitch, even though we know mainly Juan Mata hasn't been first choice, but obviously with the injury of Lingard. Obviously, Mata has been given a chance in a couple of games, but now we've lost a Spaniard as well. I think it's something to do with Juan Mata's ankle injury or something like that, if I am currently sure. Herrera's, I don't know what injury he suffered, but he did come off with some type of injury. But as it did confirm before the game, Matic could be out for up to a month. He's set to have a scan next week. I don't know what type of injury, Nemanja Matic has suffered, to be quite honest with you. I didn't see. I think, is it a muscular problem, Nemanja Matic or something like that? But he's 30 years of age now, and I do have strong reservations about Matic, but he's still been very, very good, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And obviously, we know how much of a central player he is, and he's been mainly irregular under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Nemanja Matic. But it did confirm before the game he suffered an injury in training, so he's going to be out for up to a month. It could be 2 to 3 weeks, but it did say in the media Matic could be out for up to a month as well. So I do, depend on how bad Herrera's injury is, depending on how bad Juan Mata's injuries. He may have to rotate the squad differently on Wednesday. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's probably likely he'll probably give McTominay another chance. He may even give Pereira a chance as well. Maybe even Fred may even come into contention on Wednesday against Palace. Due to the injury of Nemanja Matic as well. We've also lost Herrera now. So it's not looking very, very good indeed. We've also got Martial injured. We've got injuries to Stil Rojo. We've got injuries to Valencia. We've got injuries, to Darwin as well. So we have got a lot of injuries. But to say, we did get them injuries in the first half. We still held Liverpool, to 0-0 draw, which is very, very good indeed. And to be fair, Liverpool have played really, really well this season. They've invested money in the past couple of seasons, as I currently said. But, they'd been disappointed, with Firmino coming off in the game, because obviously he's been good for them this season. They've obviously had to replace him with Daniel Sturridge, who obviously has a different style of play than Firmino, because Firmino did come off injured in the first half. But there wasn't really a lot of chances in the game. There wasn't really a lot of clear-cut chances. We got caught offside 3 times from set pieces. Liverpool, I think looked more of a threat, from when they did get set pieces, to be quite honest, because Liverpool couldn't really open us up. They was just struggling in that attacking third of the pitch, as I currently said. So it wasn't the best performance, from Man United perspective, as I said. I still think, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is definitely still the favoured now to get the job on a full-time basis, because reports were coming out the other week in relation to that, saying that Solskjaer will be given the job on a full-time basis, because the Man United board had revealed this, and I still think he's the right man for Manchester United. And obviously we are aware that there's still key areas where we do need to strengthen up. If we're going to get around 200 odd millions to spend in the summer, so we do want new additions to come into the club in the summer. And if we can get new additions into the club in the summer, I do think we can be title contenders next season, to be quite honest with you. If we do, strengthen up them positions, where we do need to strengthen up. We do need central defender. We need someone on that right hand side, because I do expect departures in the summer, and I do expect at least 3 or 4 experienced, players to leave Manchester United in the summer. But yeah, we do definitely need strong central defender. But to be fair, defensively, there's been vast improvements, since Solskjaer took the reins at Old Trafford. Defensively, we have looked a lot better, to be quite honest with you. But we still do need a strong central defender. We do need a centre defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious, because obviously now Matic is injured anywhere, but he's very, very slow anywhere, is Nemanja Matic. So there's still key areas where we do need to strengthen up. Obviously, we're still looking to hire a director of football to come in into the club as well, as I did currently say. But for me, Solskjaer's still the right man for Manchester United. Hopefully, obviously, we wanted to win today, so we could, basically stay in the top four. So top four is definitely still on anyway, because a lot of United fans said before the game, if we don't win, it's not the end of the world, as I currently said. But, obviously, we're still in the race for top four, as I currently said, and that's our objective this season, to get that top four. Hopefully, we can succeed in the FA Cup as well. And I do believe if we can get some new additions into the club in the summer, we can start being up there, competing for silverware and all that, and win silverware, like we did do under Alex Ferguson for 26, 27 years. As I currently said. So it wasn't a bad performance today for Manchester United. I thought first half we were very, very sloppy. We give the ball away a lot. A lot of misplaced passes, a lot of unforced errors. As I currently said at the beginning of the game as well. There was a mistake. Liverpool had got a direct free kick in the box as well. It was obviously wasted. As I currently said. But I think the best play on the pitch from Liverpool's perspective, I think Fabinho played very, very well for Liverpool. Salah didn't play to his standard level. As I said, because I thought Luke Shaw dealt with him very, very well. So credit Luke Shaw for that. And I've been very, very impressed, with Luke Shaw. To be quite honest with you, Luke Shaw, as I currently said, he's still young, still known for injuries, as I currently said. But obviously Luke Shaw, he's showing that determination. He can play out from that full-back position, as I said, and he's playing really, really well, Luke Shaw. And I thought he played very, very well today. And I thought he coped with Mohamed Salah, very, very well. I thought he coped with Mohamed Salah very, very well indeed. But Liverpool, did look composed on the ball. They did get numbers forward, but they just lacked that composure in the final third, and they couldn't really play that extra play. They couldn't play that extra pass through, to really create a clear-cut chance. And this is why Liverpool, will be very, very disappointed. I think that Jurgen Klopp will be very, very disappointed indeed. But it's a 0-0 draw. I do expect we can get a victory against Palace midweek. So it's important we get back to winning ways midweek against Palace. Then is Southampton coming up. And who is it after Southampton? And then it's PSG coming up in the second leg as well. Likely Matic is going to be missing it. Pogba's obviously suspended as well. And then after PSG, we do go to Arsenal as well. So now we've got to start getting back to winning ways. As I said, after dropping 2 points today as well. If we do want to keep that pressure on that top four, because obviously we want Champions League for next season to invest a bit more money, to obviously attract more players' interest as well. But Solskjaer for me is still the right man for Manchester United. Without a shadow of a doubt, because he has that winning philosophy and he does have that pedigree. Because he flew his under Alex Ferguson for 11 years. He won a lot of trophies. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. In terms of a manager at the moment in his managerial career, he hasn't really won out much in terms of silverware, Solskjaer. But I do think that will come. When we do get some new additions into the club in the summer. And when he was at Mold, he had 2 spells. He won 2 Norwegian titles with Mold. Had a short tenure with Cardiff. Didn't really do good with Cardiff, but he won some trophies. When he was managing the Manchester United reserve team. He watched this team at this day and age. Grow and develop. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But for me, he is definitely still the right man for Manchester United, in my opinion. And as Jurgen Klopp was saying, before the game, he's praised Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for what he's done at Manchester United so far. He did basically say, Jurgen Klopp, that Solskjaer does deserve the permanent job, based on his fantastic progression so far, since he's coming to the club. And he said Solskjaer has got the quality and he deserves the Man United job 100%. And this is what Jurgen Klopp, said, leading up to the game. So basically, Jurgen Klopp was fearing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he was talking about Ander Herrera and Paul Pogba. He was talking about Herrera and Paul Pogba. He said Pogba were great, Herrera were great, and this is what Jurgen Klopp was currently saying, as I currently said. But it wasn't the best of games today. About that, I thought it did liven up in the second half. To be quite honest with you, it was very, very good atmosphere as well. But I think between both sides, Liverpool probably will be the happier. Of course, obviously now, because they go back top, as I said. As I said. But yeah, I thought it killed the momentum of the game, especially in the first half. As I said, when the injuries occurred, we was lucky that Rashford even stayed on the pitch. He didn't play to his potential level, Marcus Rashford, as I currently said, because he was obviously, limping on the pitch, was Marcus Rashford. And I thought that was very, very bad news. And even Gary Neville said, it was unlikely he was going to stay on the pitch. He did stay on the pitch, but now he could miss Palace on Wednesday, could Marcus Rashford as well, because, he didn't look look to his potential best, Marcus Rashford, because we know what he's capable capable of, but he just really wasn't at it today because obviously, he was limping on that pitch. I don't think Lukaku did too bad, but we lost Herrera through injury as well, who's been since Solskjaer's come in, he's playing a bigger part in the team. He's been pulling the strings off well in the midfield. He's been confident in that midfield very, very well, as under Herrera, but he come off with an injury as well, so he had to be replaced by Andres Pereira. Mata came off, he had to be replaced by Jesse Lingard, but Jesse Lingard wasn't on the pitch long because then he had to come back off, did Lingard, and obviously Sanchez had to come into contention as well. And what Solskjaer did say building up to the game, about Alexis Sanchez, he doesn't trust him anymore. He has no faith in Sanchez, obviously, because obviously Alexis Sanchez being a really, really poor player for Manchester United, because he's been here, just over a year, as Alexis Sanchez, as I currently said, and he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United, as Alexis Sanchez. He has had a couple of injuries as well. He's another player that's had a couple of injuries, but obviously he has lost that yard of pace. He is age 30 now, as I currently said, but he's nowhere near the player he was at Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez. So I think Man United may be planning, to sanction Alexis Sanchez off in the summer, but we know mainly anyway, he hasn't been first choice, as I currently said. But now, due to injuries, he may have to be forced now, to maybe play Alexis Sanchez maybe in the next couple of days. In the next couple of games, as I currently said. But yeah, it's worrying times, in terms of injuries and that. But I do think, we could be sanctioning Alexis Sanchez off in the summer. And as I did say, the current position what he does play in, Alexis Sanchez, as I currently said, he may not be getting the freedom. He may be playing in a restricted position, Alexis Sanchez, and he's on over £500,000 a week. And, basically, we do want to see the best out of him. We basically, do want to see the best out of him, as I currently said. But he did come on for Jesse. He did come on for Jesse Lingard in the game as well. But yeah, wasn't really impressive, when he came on Alexis Sanchez. But yeah, I do expect departures in the summer, as I've confirmed. Probably maybe Man United may be willing to sanction Romelu Lukaku off in the summer as well, because obviously he's lost his place in the team anyway, as Romelu Lukaku, as I did say, due to the injuries of Martial and Lingard and all that, and he will be probably get a few chances, with Romelu Lukaku, as they currently say, but we know mainly Marcus Rashford has been first choice over Romelu Lukaku, because what Rashford can offer up front, Lukaku cannot do, because Lukaku is very, very slow. I've got a lot of strong reservations about him, but I think his form has been slightly rejuvenated, since Solskjaer's coming, but he's still got a good pedigree in the Premier League. He has scored a lot of goals in the Premier League, Romelu Lukaku, but we know he's for such concerns me, he's very, very slow indeed as well. It's Romelu Lukaku, because of course he was playing up top, with Marcus Rashford today, so Solskjaer went with a similar lineup, to as he did do against Chelsea. On a Monday night, as I currently said, there were only two changes, and there were only two changes. There'd only been one change if that injury hadn't have occurred to Nemanja Matic, as I said. But obviously, I do think players are going to leave in the summer. I do think Lukaku's on his way out. I think Sanchez is on his definitely on his way out of the club as well. And it wasn't too long ago, Solskjaer actually was saying in relation to Sanchez that he thinks he'll improve. Alexis Sanchez is a Man United player. He said he's confident that his form will improve. He said he needed that goal, Alexis Sanchez, to give him that confidence, as I said. But I don't see that there's going to be any improvements in his game. So I do see Man United getting rid of him in the summer, to be quite honest with you. In relation to Valencia as well, he's another player I think is going to definitely leave Man United in the summer as well. Ashley Young, I think Ashley Young's past it now, to be quite honest with you. He's 33 years of age now, even though we know that he's been our first choice right back, Ashley Young, to be quite honest with you. I think he's past it now, Ashley Young, to be quite honest with you. And he's been one of the longest serving players here as Ashley Young. He's been here since 2011, of course, as Ashley Young. This is 7th season, is it 7th, 8th season now, is it, with Manchester United, of course, won everything here, but as I did currently say, I think he's past it now, and as I did say, we do need that right-hand side addressing, as I currently said, so I do expect, Young to leave in this, Young could still leave in the summer, even though he's just signed a new one-year extension, but if he doesn't, he'll probably leave the summer after. Darmin, I think, is going to leave in the summer as well, but yeah, I definitely think Sanchez will go in the summer, even though it may be hard to find a buyer or come to an agreement, because obviously he's on over £500,000 a week. Maybe a lot of teams won't be able to afford his current wages, but yeah, I expect Lukaku to depart in the summer as well. But today's game, I thought some players put a good performance out. Luke Shaw for me was really, really good today. I thought Paul Pogba, played very, very well today as well. Obviously Rashford wasn't playing to his potential best. Obviously, limping on the pitch, so he didn't that killed his momentum. He slowed down, and we didn't see that pace, that enthusiasm, that we really do see, from Marcus Rashford. But if he is, if he is to miss Palace on Wednesday night, Marcus Rashford, if he isn't fully fit, obviously then Lukaku anyway is going to be in contention. Obviously, as I said, so this now will allow Lukaku to get more opportunities, and that especially with the injuries of Martial, Lingard, and if Rashford obviously is not fully fit for Wednesday, this will allow Lukaku to obviously get more opportunities. So we'll have to basically rely on Lukaku and all that as well. But yeah, I'm not too disappointed, to be quite honest, because I still think, Solskjaer is definitely, the right man for Manchester United. But Liverpool weren't great today. The first half, they did take control of the game. They did look sharp on the ball. They looked composed on the ball. But they just lacked that composure in the final third of the pitch. And I thought they didn't even create a clear-cut chance, Liverpool. I thought they looked dangerous, from set pieces. Mainly I did Liverpool, but I thought we didn't really show a good attacking performance today, to be quite honest. I thought defensively, we played very, very well. We did have moments, where we did look dangerous on the ball. We did exploit some space and all that. We looked dangerous a couple of times, from set pieces and all that. And I think we looked dangerous from a couple of crosses. But I think Liverpool's crossing, was very, very poor today as well, as I couldn't say. But I felt the best player on the pitch for Liverpool, without a shadow of a doubt, was Fabinho, as I said. But there is a few targets, that Man United have looked for in the summer. As I have been giving you my update, the reports have been coming out saying that Man United could sanction 2 players off to fund the move for Jadon Sancho, because obviously we've identified him as a possible summer target. Obviously, we've identified, Jadon Sancho as a possible summer target. Again, 18 years of age, only very, very young in his prime, Jadon Sancho. And since he's broke into the Borussia Dortmund first team, his performances have been very, very good indeed. We know it could cost Man United maybe a nine-figure sum, to maybe get, Jadon Sancho in the summer. So it could cost us up to £100 million to get him. But I think if we've got any hopes of getting Jadon Sancho in the summer, Manchester United have got to obviously get top 4 and obviously get Champions League secured for next season if Jadon Sancho, is to come to Old Trafford. Borussia Dortmund do know how much of an essential player he is. Of course, he's only 18 years of age. Of course, he's had experience of playing in the Premier League in the past because he had a couple of years with Manchester City. As I currently said, he didn't get into the first team with Manchester City, Jadon Sancho. This is why the main reason he left Manchester City, because he couldn't get into the first team. So he did spend a couple of years in youth academy. He began his youth career with Watford as well, Jadon Sancho. But since he's been at Borussia Dortmund, his performances have been very, very good indeed. Of course, he's English as well. I think this is now his second season now, is it, in the process with Borussia Dortmund? But since he's broken into the first team, his performances have been very, very good. He has got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. Is this a young player as well? But that's staggering amounts of money, for a young player that Jadon Sancho. It would be ideal for us to get some young players, that could grow, develop, and mould. Because we have got a lot of experienced players in that team who I do expect to leave in the summer. So it would be ideal, to get some young players, that could grow, and develop as well. But we have identified Jadon Sancho. And Borussia Dortmund are known for doing business with some of their players, of course. Of course, they did business with Pulisic, who's officially going to be a Chelsea player next season. They did business, who else did they do business with? They did business with Aubameyang. They did business with Ousmane Dembele. They sold him for £105-106 million to Barcelona. But Borussia Dortmund did only pay £7-8 million, for Jadon Sancho. So financially, they could make a huge, huge profit for him in the summer, because I think Man United have identified him as a summer target, Jadon Sancho. But yeah, he is a very, very good player. City do have a buyback option on the player as well. It did say City would receive around 15% of the transfer fee if we were to come to an agreement, because City have inserted a 15% sell-on clause in terms of his deal, as I couldn't said, and City did insert a buyback clause in his current contract as well. But we have identified him as a possible summer target, Jadon Sancho. But we know that it would cost staggering amounts of money, and as reports have been talking about, saying that we could offload the likes of Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez, to currently fund the move, as I said. But we are aware that investment is needed, because we didn't spend any money throughout the course of the January transfer window, which of course also was very, very disappointing. But there's been other targets, we've been linked to them as well. There's been other targets as well, guys. We've been currently linked with them, as I did say. Obviously the major number one target for the summer is obviously Napoli's Koulibaly. As I currently said, that may be a fake narrative, to be quite honest. Because Koulibaly, I think he's committed to Napoli. He feels happy at Napoli. As reports were coming out the other week about the other week was it? I updated you about that as well. We know he'd address our defensive deficiencies, fantastically well. Koulibaly, if he was to currently come to Manchester United, Koulibaly, as I did currently say, we know he would cost in the region of around £90 million, to get him in the summer. But as recent reports did mention yesterday, that his current agent revealed that Napoli, Koulibaly would not betray Napoli by joining Juventus, and this is what his current agent said. So basically ruled him out, making a move to Juventus, because Juventus have reportedly been interested in him. But we have identified him as our number one summer target, Koulibaly, because he has been at Napoli a number of years. He's grown, developed, and flourished fantastically well. He was good under Maurizio Sarri. Now he's good under Carlo Ancelotti. He has still got a contract with Napoli until 2023 as Koulibaly, and Napoli only paid £7 million for him from Genk, as we all currently know, the Senegal international. Obviously, we know in the process we had 3 bids turned down for him after we'd been in negotiations. The recent one obviously was £95 million. So the rumours are still persisting, linking him with a move to Old Trafford. Koulibaly, he would look good alongside Lindelof and Bailly, as I said, in that central defensive area, because he's experienced centre back. He's 27 years of age. He's very, very tall, as well as Koulibaly, but the rumours do continue to persist. As I said, we've been interested in Inter Milan's Milan Skriniar as well, but I think Milan Skriniar is going to be a doubt now, because reportedly he's on the verge of signing a new contract with Inter Milan. He's 24 years of age, is Milan Skriniar, don't forget. He is a very, very good player, and his performances have been good, and he's flourished at Inter Milan since he's been at Inter Milan. Inter Milan paid £20 million for him from Sampdoria, so he's basically Slovakian. He's Slovakian, as we all know. He's Milan Skriniar, as we all currently know. But Inter Milan paid £20 million for him. I think he's rated at around £75 million, but I think he's committing his future with Inter Milan. So I think our pursuit of it, a summer move, a pursuit of a summer move for Milan Skriniar, is looking likely it's going to be coming to a conclusion, because he's on the verge of signing a new deal with Inter Milan as well. And there's been a host of other defenders, we've been interested in as well. Of course, we've still got our sort of contract renewals out. As I said, Manchester United, we've had some good news as well, that Man United are on the brink of getting Ander Herrera a new deal at the club as well, and he does deserve it based on his fantastic performances. It's a shame we lost him in that game today for injury as well. Ander Herrera, he's on the verge of signing a new 3-year deal, reportedly, worth around £100,000 a week as well, and he does deserve it, based on his fantastic performances. Good ball playing midfielder, without a shadow of a doubt, and it's a shame we lost him through injury today. As I said, so we had to basically take him off and bring Andres Pereira on. In relation, to Marcus Rashford as well, good news came out before this game today that he's on the verge of signing a new 6-year deal with Manchester United, and he deserves it, based on his fantastic progression, Marcus Rashford, because I think, since Solskjaer's come in, his form's been rejuvenated, and I think he's always been a consistent player as Marcus Rashford, as I said, but he's on the verge of signing a new 6-year deal, which will take him under contract term until 2025, and this will potentially, take him until the age of 27, Marcus Rashford, as I said. His current deal does end in 2020 with an option of a further year as well, Marcus Rashford, but he deserves it. His goal scoring form's improved overall since Solskjaer's come in. His goal scoring form's improved as Marcus Rashford. His finishing's really, really improved as well, and he's definitely our number one number. And as I said, you can play him out wide, but I think he looks very, very effective, when he's playing centrally, to be quite honest with you. But obviously he wasn't at his best today, Marcus Rashford, as we have seen of him under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously he was limping on the pitch, was Marcus Rashford, so he knocks the pace out of him. Obviously, when he's limping on the pitch, Marcus Rashford. So he wasn't potentially his best today due to that, scenario of him, limping on the pitch, as I said. But good news is we're set to sign him a new 6-year deal, which is good news indeed. As I did say, Marcus Rashford's been in United player since the age of 7, progressing up the ranks fantastically well, been in the senior squad since 2016, but definitely, his performances have been fantastic since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in. So I have been very, very impressed with him indeed. And I think the wages he's going to get is around £200,000 a week, so somewhere along the lines he's going to get the similar sort of wages, to what Anthony Martial's currently receiving, because he's receiving around £200,000 a week as well. But as I did currently say, yeah, and you know, we need to sort them out. But as reports do mention, we have had breakthrough in negotiations of getting Rashford a new 6-year deal. It's looking likely Herrera's on the brink of signing a new 3-year deal as well with Manchester United, which is very very good news indeed. In relation to De Gea, we still need to get him a new long-term contract as well. Of course, now as it has officially confirmed, I think now as well, David De Gea has made is now achieved 100 Premier League clean sheets as David De Gea, which is very very good. So he has got a century of Premier League clean sheets. You know, of course, he's been here since 2011. His progression over the years has been fantastic. Reports do mention that Man United have been in negotiations getting him a new long-term deal. I think he's set to commit his long-term future with Manchester United is David De Gea. Reports do mention that reportedly we are willing to offer him a 90 million wage package over the 5-year period of his contract, reportedly, and I think the salary a week's going to be around 350,000, or is it a bit more than 350,000 pounds a week, as I currently said. But as I did currently say, last year we activated 12-month extension on his current contract, David De Gea. But as I did currently say, I think he's set to become the highest paid goalkeeper in world football. I think he's set to become the highest paid goalkeeper He's set to become the highest paid goalkeeper in world football. I think the best paid in the Premier League. It did say in reports. I think overall the ninth best played player in world football overall, as I currently said. But yeah, today wasn't the best of performances as we've been seeing, you know, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But we didn't lose the game, and considering that we lost Herrera through injury, we lost Juan Mata through injury and all that. And you know, Matic obviously couldn't feature in the game because it confirmed he suffered an injury in training. I thought we did very very well, and I thought we kept Liverpool up there, you know, very, very well. Liverpool, you know, in attacking sense were very, very poor. They did look good on the ball, you know, they did get in decent positions and they did look sharp on the ball, but I think, you know, I thought they're much more of a threat, you know, from set pieces because they didn't really, you know, create any clear-cut chances. I thought the crossing was very, very poor indeed as well, but I thought Luke Shaw put a good defensive performance out today. Lindelof didn't do too bad again, I think. His performances have really, really improved as a Manchester United player. I think he's flourished very, very well. He's fitting in that central defensive area very, 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 very well. He's showing that determination, you know, that he can play out from the back of Victor Lindelof. So I've been impressed with him, you know, this season, especially. Chris Smalling, this was his third start today under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But yeah, you know, we didn't lose the game. It was a 0-0 draw. You know, I didn't expect, you know, the game to be a 0-0 draw, to be quite honest with you. But in the first half, I thought the injuries, you know, killed the momentum of the game, even though in the second half it did liven up, you know, to be quite honest with you. But as it did confirm the substitutions that came on, we saw, you know, Ander Herrera come off, so Andres Pereira had to come on for Ander Herrera. You know, we saw Juan Mata come off, so Jesse Lingard had to come off for Juan Mata. Jesse Lingard had to come on for Juan Mata, sorry, should I say. And then Jesse Lingard obviously then, you know, came back off the pitch, so then Sanchez basically, you know, had to currently replacing Liverpool from there. Obviously, you know, they lost Firmino as well in the game, as I currently said. But I thought in terms of attacking extent from Liverpool, you know, they were very, very poor indeed. You know, they looked composed on the ball, you know, but they just lacked composure in that final third of the pitch. You know, they couldn't really, you know, get that pass through. They couldn't really, you know, play that, that 1 yard pass, you know, as I currently said. So anyway, drop your comments, likes on the channel, guys. We'll be back with some more live videos very, very soon. If you do consider subscribe to my channel, as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thank you.